There was a time when I had an excuse for everything. Every mistake had a reason. Every shortcoming had a story. And the worst part, I thought all of that was okay. During college, I joined a band in my first year, and there I received one of the biggest advice I have ever received in my life. From a senior, it was so deep that it has helped me in almost every aspect of my life. It has improved me, and I thought, let me share it with you. So I joined this music club. We used to have our practice sessions. Whenever I used to make a mistake during practice sessions, my immediate response was to give out a reason or to give an excuse. Instead of thinking what I can do, make it better, I used to be like, these are my limitations. So those excuses became like a full stop. In one of those practice sessions, he finally told me this, Keithan, whenever you make a mistake, stop giving excuses. When you stop giving excuses, you start being better. At first I thought, back then I was really arrogant, like a weird kind of pride in particularly playing guitar because I was a lot better than almost everyone around there. So at first I did not totally get it, but it was there in my head. Back then I used to think I'm self-taught, so of course I'll mess up. But that line, it was my safety net. A comfort zone disguised as a logic. It took someone else pointing it out for me to realize. The more I justified my flaws, the more I stayed stuck in them. So the next time I made a mistake while playing, my quick response yet again was to give out an explanation. And that got me thinking, like, can I really improve? Is there a limit to my abilities or my skills? Or is it just me trying to make myself comfortable in where I am? And trust me when I say this, when I stopped giving out excuses, I saw a graph of growth which was never there. It's strange how one small realization can echo across every part of your life. You start seeing excuses everywhere, not just in music, but in the way you live, the way you handle failure, and how you talk to yourself. So recently while scrolling through YouTube videos, I saw a kid making cinematic videos with proper lighting and everything. Now when I mention proper cinematic video with lighting, you'll be thinking, oh, there is probably some budget that he is using. Now the crazy one, my phone is still a bit expensive, a little bit expensive than his entire setup, his entire budget of camera, the camera he's using and the lighting he's using. Why? Because he's doing everything on a smartphone camera, and people cry about their setup, their budget, their equipments and whatnot. Even for me, when I was starting this channel, I had all kinds of thoughts in my head, like my camera is very basic, I don't have lighting gear, I don't know much about shooting and talking and everything. Because the version of me that loved making excuses, he would have stopped right there. He would have waited for the perfect gear, the perfect time. But luckily that version isn't as loud anymore. And when I see examples like this, I truly believe that if there is will, there is a way. Right? I think that's what it says. Yeah, that's what it says. Yeah. And still, I'd say this is still not an extreme example. If I were to give about extremes example of willpower and everything, I think there are so many names that I can. There is this guy, I've seen his talk on TED Talks, Nick Vujicic. He had so many excuses to give in his life, and yet he is doing amazing in life. These examples are the craziest level of if there is a will, there is a way. So it should really make us think, like, are we really giving out excuses, the valid excuses to not doing a certain thing, to not entering into whatever there is that we want to do. So the very first thing to do is to acknowledge that, yeah, we are limiting ourselves by giving excuses. And then the next thing to do is figuring it out, like how I can do it, what things I should do to make this thing possible. It seems difficult, but once you start doing it, you'll realize that, oh, it wasn't that difficult. Now, whenever that old voice returns, I just tell him, it's fine. Let's try it anyways. Even if it fails, even if it flops. But as long as there is something to learn out of it, there shouldn't be any reason to not do it. I guess that's how I deal with the version of myself who loves being comfortable, by reminding him that growth never happens there. So yeah, this was one of the biggest advice, heartfelt one, because it really helped me, and I hope it reached out to you guys as well. If it did, hit that like button, subscribe for more such feel good content, share with your friends, and let me know in the comments if you were also someone like this who likes to give out a lot of excuses and wants to change it. Yeah, bye for now. And there is a construction work going on. But it's okay. We have to get through that. Anyway,